Good morning, boys and girls. Today we are going to use the information that you found a real long time ago about where your animal lives. So hopefully you remember. If not, you might have to do a quick search or read a quick book on Epic. Okay. Remember when we started writing our how-tos and we started off with our main sentence, or our topic sentence is what we called it, and then we had our steps and then we kind of wrapped it up? That's the same process that we're going to do today with where our animal lives, but I'm going to show you how this is going to look, okay? For our main topic, we're not just going to write a sentence and say, I'm doing frogs. So we're not just going to write a sentence and say, oh, frogs live in the water. We want to be more specific, okay? Remember that we're writing a book. We're not just writing a sentence. We're writing a whole book. And our book gives us details. Someone is going to read this book and they're going to learn about frogs. So, or whatever animal you're researching. So we want to make sure that we are giving information. So for my topic sentence, I've researched frogs, okay? So I could say frogs, if my pen works. Frogs are amphibians. A-N-S, that's not A. A-N-S. Which means they can live on land or in water. Okay, so this is my topic sentence. I'm telling you that they can live on land or in the water. And there's a word for animals that can live on land or in water. It's called amphibians. Maybe your animal is cold-blooded. Maybe your animal is warm-blooded, and that leads to the reason that they live where they live. Maybe you are doing a cat and you want to say, let me think about this one for just a second to give you an example. So if you were writing about cats, I guess it might depend on what your 3 details are, but your topic sentence might say something about how cats are typically pets and live with humans or around civilization. Civilization is a really big word. But you typically don't find a cat, like a pet cat, not like a cheetah or a jaguar or anything like that. But you typically don't find like a house cat out in the random wild. Usually they're in towns or in cities, which is where people are. So your main topic sentence would say something about how cats are usually pets, so they live where the people are. Okay, and then you would write your 3 details. So talking about frogs are amphibians, they live on land or in water. One of my details are many frogs live in ponds. That's where I usually find my pets. Many frogs live in ponds, rivers, and lakes. Okay. The most frogs, this is my second one, the most frogs live in rainforests. Now, if you had Miss Jeunesse for 1st grade, maybe you know so much about frogs, probably more than I know. I think that her frogs are very awesome, but she has some pretty cool frogs, and I think that the kind that she has live in rainforest, because I'm pretty sure that her tank is mostly dry and there's just like one little pool thing in their water, but it's not like all water. I think that hers are the kind that live in rainforests. Where there are lots of trees and it rains almost, I ran out of room, every day. Okay? So many frogs live in ponds, rivers, and lakes. Those are the ones that we find. But the most frogs, I thought that this was one of my interesting facts, that most of the frogs live in rainforests. And I think of the frogs that I see at the zoo in the little buildings when I think of these frogs. They're very cute. In the winter, this is my third fact. In the winter, because you know it gets colder. In the winter, where weather is cold, like here, this is why I'm looking here, frogs must hibernate. Underground, that's one word, not two, until it is warm again. Okay, so notice that all of these are complete sentences. I'm starting with capital letters, and I have punctuation at the end of my sentences. Okay, so they are amphibians. This was one of my facts that I found, but I need to know what amphibians means. Keep reading, which means they live on land or in water. Right here, I told you that many of them live in water, and I'm not just saying water, I'm saying ponds, rivers, lakes. Here, many frogs live on land in the rainforest. However, it rains almost every day, so there is still water. I live in a place where in winter the weather is cold, so I'm curious to know what my frogs do here. Well, they must hibernate underground until it is warm again. Okay? These are my 3 facts about where frogs live. Now, I want to wrap it up. Okay? There are many different kinds of frogs. The frogs that we see here that live in our ponds, rivers, and lakes are not the frogs that live in the rainforest. So, there are many different kinds of frogs, and even though they can live on both water and land, they need water to survive. Okay? So remember when I said that it rains almost every day, so they still have water. They still need water to survive, even if they are on land. And like Miss Janessa's frogs, if you have seen her frogs, they have a little pool in their cage that they can get in or drink. I haven't actually seen them in the water, but I know that it is there and that they do have that. Okay? So this is an example for frogs. Okay? And remember, this is just one sentence and this is just one sentence. Here you're going to tell me about where they live, but here you're breaking it down. So let's say I was doing, I keep going back to cats because like cats and dogs, they're a little bit different than wild animals because they live where people live. So maybe we're saying that cats are typically pets, which means they live where people live. Okay? So cats can, let me think about this for a second. Many cats live with humans in houses. Some cats live outside. How do you want to write that? Cats is difficult. You could write about how there's indoor cats. So one of your facts could be about cats living indoors. One of your facts could be about cats living outdoors. What would your third facts be about? Your closing sentence could be that even though cats live in different areas, they all need food, water, and shelter to survive. Even the ones who are strays or don't have homes, they have to find something to eat. They have to find water from somewhere, but also they find protection to protect them from the heat, protect them from the cold, from the snow, from the rain. They do still find protection, so they have to have that shelter or protection. That would be a good closing sentence, but what would your third fact be about where they live? Outside, inside. Maybe you found an interesting fact about cats living. Okay. Let me know if you need help. If you're doing a pet animal and you need help on that, let me know, and I'll be interested. I'll be excited to help you. And I'm going to keep thinking, and I'm going to be interested to see what you guys come up with in your different facts about your animals. This one's a hard one. This is a higher level of thinking, so this is going to take you some time. Okay? Let me know if any of you have questions, though, or if any of you need help.